Hi, I'm Kim from Live Aware Now. I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. I'll be sharing lots of cool information on emotion, on what it is, how to identify it, how to deal with it, and then how to use it to our advantage. So click the like buttons on my videos and then hit that subscribe button so that you'll have access to all my future videos. Thanks a lot. Good morning, everybody. So I'm going to be talking about fear today, and just getting into this, I'm facing my own fears about even doing this, right? Seeing myself being videoed and, putting this message out there and not knowing if anybody's listening or if you guys will end up watching this. But listen, we have some stuff that we really need to talk about with fear. I don't want to make these videos super long unless we get into some kind of conversation. Conversation would be fine, but I want to give you little snippets every day on the subject of fear. Fear is something that is so prevalent in our society right now, and it's interfering in our ability to see things clearly. So one of the things that I want to talk about this morning is the idea that fear as an emotion, one, it's a survival emotion, so it's there to help us survive, right? And then the other piece of it is that all emotion is messengers. Every emotion that you have is a messenger to you from the environment. So, so when you have an emotion, it's your senses picking up information from the environment, passing it through a perception or a belief filter, and then creating that emotion inside of you. And that emotion is supposed to give us messages. Well, fear is to help alert us to potential danger in our environment. One of the problems is that we get hooked into fear. We get hooked into that cycle of holding on to fear and resisting it because we don't like it. It's not a comfortable feeling, so we try to resist it. But that messenger, kind of think of it as like a friend. So one of the examples that I've used is, say like if I was going to cross a road and I'm standing there, I've got my earphones in, so I'm not really paying all that much attention, and I go to step into the road and my friend grabs my arm and jerks me back, right? Well, if I wasn't paying all that much attention, I might get mad at my friend, or I might like, what the heck are you doing? But what the reality is that my friend just saved me from stepping out in front of that truck, right? My friend kept me from dying, and that's what our fear is trying to do. Unfortunately, our fear ends up kind of overtaking sometimes, and the more we repress the message, the louder it gets to try to get our attention. So it ends up taking over our perception. So that fear is a messenger trying to give us information about our environment and something that we need to pay attention to. So think about something that you might have a fear of right now. And, do we have fears about the virus? Okay, yeah, we have fears about the virus. There's so many unknowns, right? And we have this expert telling us one thing, we have this person over here telling us something else, and it's hard to understand where the truth lies, okay? And so there's all these unknowns. We don't know what to believe, right? That leaves us very uncertain, and fear breeds in uncertainty. Fear also can get stimulated by things like watching media all the time and listening to that message. So there's a lot about fear that I want to unpack over however long it takes. Fear literally is a subject that, entire books are written about it, with different people's ideas on what it is and how to deal with it. All right, so like I said, I don't want to make these super long. And I really don't know how long I've been going right now. I can talk for a really long time. when I get onto something. So, so thinking of fear as that messenger, as that friend that's trying to tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, you know, there's something to pay attention to. So the first thing that we can do is we can observe it. Okay, so by just simply being aware that we're feeling fear can make such a huge difference in our experience of it. And fear is not fun to feel. It's not fun to sit with, but I guarantee if you're able to sit with it and allow it to give you the message may be skewed way out of proportion, but it's definitely going to give you a message and insight into why you keep feeling so much fear. So let's go back to the virus. So, you know, say we have a fear of going out to the store, all right? We have this fear of going to the store because we could get the virus, or we could become a transmitter for the virus, or whatever. Let's look at that as a fear. So when we have that fear, we have to, like, you know, sit with it and say, okay, is that something that, you know, first find it in our bodies, you know, find where we're experiencing it. And, you know, I can feel it as a tightness, and I can feel it as an avoidance, and I can feel it as anxiety. So there's a lot of things in my body I can feel it as. And then once I have that message and I'm able to kind of check it out, I can say, all right, well, what is the fear? And it's like, well, okay, the fear is that I could get the virus. Okay. So then it's up to our logical mind to look at what is the logic there, all right? What is the actuality of it, right? So then we kind of look at some of the statistics, and it's like, all right, for my age bracket and my health status, you know, the chances are this much. So we bring logic into it, and we look at it from that perspective. So we're gonna do that, but once you can kind of, and there's a lot of other tools that I'm going to be sharing over the next weeks and in my YouTube videos as well. If you can look at it as a messenger, look at the message that it's giving you, and then bring some awareness to it, and then look at it from another perspective, bring some logic into it, that can start to lower it. So yeah, so that's my thing for this morning. Understanding that fear is a messenger. It is something there to deliver a message to you, and if we listen to it and we take it as message, even if it's out of proportion, even if we have to you know, look at it and say, okay, well, that's not really realistic, or, you know, there's a chance and I need to take some precautions, I need to address it somehow, then we can do that, right? Over the next few weeks, I'm going to be giving you lots of tools. I'm going to be telling some stories. I have some stories. In fact, I'll go into a really quick one that happened this morning. So I am getting ready for my meditation, and my window looks out over my horse paddock. And I have white electric fence tape that lines all my fencing. And my horses, when the electric fencer is off, when there's no current running through that tape, my horses know that they can push on it, they can push through it, and they can eat whatever is on the other side. So I look out there this morning, and the fencer had gotten left off overnight. I look out, and my horses are leaning through the fence, and they're pushing through to try to eat the grass on the other side. And the one place they were going to go out that would be fine, because it would be letting them into a pasture. Another place that they were pushing through would have let them out of the fencing completely. And you know, having a horse running loose is not the best feeling in the world. Horses are pretty unpredictable in some ways. They're predictable in some, and they're unpredictable in others. And so there's enough of a fear there, enough of an unpredictability that they could be endangered, run into the road, you know, get hit or take off and cause a lot of time to go catch them. So there's enough of a fear there that's like, hey, that fear was there to say, hey, you need to get dressed and you need to go and get that fence fixed so that you don't have to do all this other stuff. So you don't have to worry about them getting hit or them getting lost or, you know, whatever, right? So that fear was there just enough to say, hey, you know, you got to go out and deal with this. So I listened to it. I went out, you know, and I, you know, fixed the problem. I turned on the fencer and everything's fine. That's an example of sometimes where we want to listen to that fear, right? And it was a realistic fear, but I didn't have a heart attack about it. You know, it's not like my heart jumped in my throat and I'm like panicking and can't do anything. So yeah, so that fear was a messenger saying, hey, this is something you need to deal with. This is something you need to pay attention to. And, you know, if you do, then it's good. So, you know, I dealt with it. I took care of it. And then I was able to go on with my day, right? So yeah, I hope you guys found this useful. I am planning on doing this every day for as long as I need to. I'm committing to at least a month for the next month, because at least here in Michigan, you know, through the end of May, we are still under stay-at-home orders. So there's a lot of things within that alone, the stay-at-home orders, the uncertainty with the COVID-19, that, you know, I really feel like addressing fear is a really big need right now. Another thing is that I am working on another video. I've recorded it and I'm in the editing process, and I need to do some voiceovers, and along with that video I have a meditation to help with addressing fear that I'm going to be releasing, that I'm learning GarageBand to be able to put some music behind it. I have a little bit of some music in the background of the meditation that always kind of helps me to relax and get into the meditation. So I'm still learning some things before I can release it. I'm hoping that I'll be able to get that finished up here pretty soon and get it released. But in the meantime, I really felt like I needed to get moving on this and be able to give some information out there to help people start to bring some awareness to fear itself, bring some awareness to, you know, some observation to what fear is, and why we have it and how to deal with it, right? Because we really do need to be able to deal with it. It's not going away, and it shouldn't go away. We need fear. We just need to know how to handle it. Okay, so I really hope this was helpful for you guys. You know, I'll keep this video up, so if you can't catch me in the mornings, my idea right now, and I'm going to see if I can commit to it, is doing this at 8:30 in the morning every morning. I may be out here where I go for my hike, or I may be at home in my pasture with my horses or something like that. So I'm going to try to make it a regular thing, and something that you can schedule if you want to. So yeah, hope you guys are taking care during this time, taking care of yourselves. And I guess the other thing, and I'll elaborate on this more later in future videos, future lives too, is, you know, disconnect yourself from media. Okay, just, you know, as much as you possibly can, disconnect from anything that is fear-inducing. You know, it's one thing to take in some information, and then it's another thing to have it amplified into fear, so that, you know, it keeps you hooked into watching. So there you go, guys. That's what I've got for today. And if you have any questions, please, you know, put them on my page, share them, ask me them, message me. You know, it doesn't matter. Just let me know. I want to know what it is that you want to know, that you need to know. Yeah. Otherwise, I'm just going to share stuff as it comes up, and as I can kind of bring it forward. Okay, as I can unpack it. This is a big subject to unpack. So, all right. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. All right. Love you guys. Mwah.